Humboldt State tonight in the Redwood Bowl, joined now by crew coach Robin Meiggs. And, you know, baseball, it's managers and different stuff. Is it coach?
It is Coach Meiggs.
Okay, just
Meiggs.
double checking.
Yep.
First home regatta this weekend. Crew, of course, the sport. Let's talk about crew. A lot of people, all they know about crew is that's kind of like rowing, right? But tell us a little more about crew so we can get a little inside information.
You know, it is a lot like rowing. It's one of those sports where it takes some pretty tenacious individuals, because we row in the fall at 5:30 in the morning. In the spring we row at 6. We usually row either before 8 o'clock classes or after 5 o'clock classes. We have pairs, 4s and 8s, where we have 4 and 8 rowers and a coxswain in each boat.
Yeah, it's for the folks, if you've been around HSU, I don't know, it doesn't really matter what time of day you come by, you can find your gulls. You hear the machines, and they're going hard, and that's not to mention, because I've obviously never seen practice at 5:30, because you wouldn't catch me dead on the water at 5:30 in the morning, but not for the faint of heart. I mean, you have to be dedicated if you're going to do crew.
You do, actually. You know, like any other intercollegiate sport, there's a lot of time and energy involved. We have 2 practices every day, back to back. The first one starts at 5:30, and then the second one starts at 8 a.m. We row on the water 5 days a week. We're on rowing simulators. We're in the weight room. And we have one of the highest team GPAs. We have about 18 academic All-Americans each year. It's a good kind of balance between academics and athletics.
All right, what makes a good rower? What takes someone, I mean, you assume strong, but I'm sure there's some speed, some skill, obviously timing involved, but, you know, what do you find? Is there a common denominator that makes a good member of your team opposed to others?
You know, survival of the fittest.
Okay,
when you practice at 5 a.m., it will be those people who actually have really good time management skills. There's a great deal of athleticism that goes into the sport of rowing, and a lot of trust. So, you know, it's not one person who is the most valuable player, but it is the power of 8 women with the ability to make one catch, one suspend, one send, and to work in unison. It's truly the ultimate team sport.
Okay, how many gals come out for the first day when you've got like signups, and then how many people are left when it's all said and done?
You know, this was, of course, an Olympic year, and the women's 8 won the Olympics pretty handily. And so we had 73 kids in the fall, and we have 60 right now.
Well, that's not too bad then.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I mean, that's great attrition rate. I guess everybody saw the Olympic rowers and want to get into it. Now, real quick, you talked about trust. 8 people. I have never been on what are they, scull boats or?
Yeah, rowing shells, scull boats.
They do not look very stable.
They're not.
I would imagine you talk about trust. 8 people in this. Are these things easy to tip?
Yeah, they are actually, you know, and it takes time spending. And what we've done this year is we've gone into smaller boats. So we're one boat with 2 people, 2 oars, and no coxswain. So they have to steer it themselves. And that actually has developed a great deal of trust in our varsity program, because when you stick 7 or 8 of those boats out there and say, okay, now we're going to go out and do the same workout that you would have done in a boat with a coxswain, now you have to cox it and you have to steer it. And it's been phenomenal. It's just really changed the way that kids look at what they're doing out there, and it's helped us find pair partners where, you know, if your boat runs true and straight, there's probably a good chance that's going to be your pair partner for the rest of the year.
Well, that's good, and nobody would want to go into Humboldt Bay at 5:30 in the morning. I can't imagine that being a lot of fun. All right, your first home regatta. You guys have a beautiful boathouse down there on the marina in Eureka.
We have a beautiful boathouse, but we're not in it.
You're not in it.
We're still in the shed near the Samoa Bridge, and so you know, if you want to come out this weekend, that's where we're going to stage it out of. But the best viewing place is going to be on the boardwalk down in Old Town Eureka.
And F Street there.
Yeah,
okay.
A beautiful place to watch.
Now, what time do people need to come out and check it out?
We'll be racing from about 8 until about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We have a couple of collegiate teams coming in. We're doing some masters racing. We'd hope to have some of the juniors racing, but there's no competition coming, so we won't be racing them.
To be an informed fan when I go out there this Saturday morning, what are some of the things I can look for and need to know and sound like, you know, this isn't my first rodeo? Okay,
so the thing that you need to know, dress warmly.
Okay.
Bring a very large cup of coffee. And there's usually some programs that we have that will talk about the different aspects of racing. There'll be a race schedule, and races come down at 15-minute intervals. So we always say you might think about bringing the newspaper or a really good book too.
Okay, well, still pretty quick there, and dress warm. I imagine bring a lawn chair, maybe a little breakfast.
Absolutely.
Great way to spend the morning on the North Coast. Now, we talked about a little off the air. only, what, 2 other teams coming in? Because obviously we know how the gas prices were this summer when you were trying to schedule people, and I highly doubt it's cheap to bring a whole team from wherever they may be coming.
It's not. You know, normally we have about 7 or 8 universities that attend. None of the northern schools are coming. Primarily when we scheduled in October, gas prices were almost $5 a gallon, and you know that made sense at the time. Now that they're back down at a reasonable level, you're pretty much locked into the regattas that you're going to be going to. So it'll definitely be a much smaller affair than it has normally been in the past, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I really expect Humboldt State to go out and dominate the 2 teams that are coming.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, truly. We've been training hard, and really the next 6 weeks is going to be what pushes us into the most important races of the year. And you know, it's a very short season. We've been training since August, and our first regatta was March the 14th, and it culminates on graduation Saturday when we come down the course for the national qualifier.
Yeah, like you said, you know, people just getting done with basketball season, they know the regionals and stuff like that. Your regionals and your nationals, toughest time of the year. So these girls really need to know how to manage their time, because when it's crunch time, it's going to be crunch time on and off.
Absolutely. You know, we started talking about it a lot earlier this year in preparing your end of the year projects. We have quite a few seniors graduating that expect to be in that top 12 position as we go to the national qualifying regattas. We have 3 regattas in the last 2 weeks of school. We have our Western U.S. Championships. We go into Dead Week. We fly to Philadelphia on May the 6th and go to one of the biggest regattas in the United States, the Dad Vale Regatta, which will really determine whether or not we get to go to nationals this year. And then we come back a week later, graduation Saturday, where we'll hold our own ceremonies at the race course. And we'll come down and we'll do the national qualifying regatta, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
All right, hopefully I don't ruffle any feathers here, but what do we got to do to get you in that boathouse? What's going on?
If you could help us get the dock put in, we'd really like to be in that new boathouse. We'd like to not have to fire up the generator every morning and push the porta potty outside and recreate the wheel every day of the week. It would be pretty exciting to be there.
Crew needs a dock. Come on, we need a beautiful boathouse and dock. It's all down there to be great. Robin Meiggs, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much. And we hope to see you out there.
There you go. We're coming out Saturday morning. Bring some coffee and a blanket and enjoy. Crew, let's check it out. I'm JB Mathers. More HSU tonight coming up.